I've passed through Koblenz so many times, but this was actually my first time exploring the city. And honestly, I was actually surprised by how much there is to see here. And here you have the Herz Jesu Kirche. I didn't get a chance to see inside it. I mean, I saw so many churches in Koblenz. I don't think it's possible to actually fully explore all of the churches in one day. If you're new here, welcome. I'm currently doing a travel series through Germany, mainly focusing on the state of Rhineland palatinate. This region is known for its Riesling wine, romantic river valleys, and towns that look straight out of a storybook. And Rhineland palatinate has around 130 officially recognized cities. And Koblenz is actually one of the top 5 largest cities by population in the state. It has around 114,000 people. That makes it a lot bigger than some of the other places I've been to, like Cochem, Belstein, and Ben-Castel-Kues. Even though Cochem has a population of just about 5,000, it still is officially classified as a city. I found out that in Germany, it's not always about the population size for a town to be classified as a city, but more about its historical city rights. Basically, in medieval times, towns that were granted city rights by kings or emperors, they gained special privileges. So this was like the ability to hold markets, build defensive walls, and govern themselves independently. So even today, some very small towns are technically cities because they've held those city rights for centuries. This is the Inventors Fountain. It reflects Koblenz history, and it was built in the 1980s to celebrate local inventors. But the whole chaotic arch-like design also reflects the city's past, especially during the French Revolution when Koblenz became a refuge for French royals. I stopped here for a snack. It's right in the city center. I won't even attempt to pronounce the name, and if you've watched some of my other videos, you'd know I don't eat pork. And they only had one type of beef sausage, so I went for that one. It was just under €2 for the whole hot dog. It was actually quite good, so I do recommend that you try this place if you plan to visit Koblenz. In the Old Town City Centre, you will also find the Church of Our Lady. You won't miss it if you're there. It just really stands out. The Church of Our Lady was originally built between 1210 and 1230 in Gothic style, and it was dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Over the centuries, it has been renovated and it's had several modifications. This is especially after the effects of the wars, which I won't get into too much details because I know you know the wars I'm talking about. This is still an active church. Sunday masses still happen here. It is part of the Catholic Archdiocese of Trier. So if you plan to visit, make sure you respect the people praying in the church. And the Twin Towers are one of the defining features of its style and appearance in Koblenz. Another good place to explore is the Jesuit Square, or Jesuit, I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced. Here you will find beautiful Baroque and Renaissance-style buildings, many of which have been restored or reconstructed after the wars. Here you can also find the former Jesuit College, the City Church. You can also find Johannes Müller Monument. He was a renowned physiologist and anatomist from Koblenz. This is the City Church. The interior is actually quite modern compared to the Church of Our Lady. Basically, during World War II, the church suffered heavy destruction. Much was lost. Only the western facade facing the square remained standing. Near the square, you can also find the Spitting Boy Fountain. It randomly spits water every now and then. It's not just a prank, but it also represents the city's sense of humor. Koblenz has actually really good train connections. You can easily get to Cologne in like 1 hour and Frankfurt in about 1 hour, 15 minutes. You can also even get to Luxembourg, the country, in about 2 to 3 hours. Well, if the Deutsche Bahn is running on time, those are just the estimates without any delays. So there's a Koblenz card. It gives you discounts for museums and transportation. You can get this at the tourist office. And also, one thing I noticed was that a lot of people started coming into the city after midday. So if you plan to visit, make sure you go as early as possible. I went to this other cafe. The service was so slow. I actually waited 40 minutes just to be served the drink and an over-the-counter slice of cake. So I won't be recommending it. I tried out the cable car. It goes over the Rhine River. It basically connects the city to the fortress that sits right at the top of the city. I'll leave the name of the fortress in the subtitles because I have no idea on how it's pronounced. I bought a combined ticket for the cable car and for the fortress. It all came up to 22 euros. But prices may vary, so double check the prices on Google. At the top, you get the view of the Deutsches Eck. I hope that's how it's pronounced. This is where the Rhine and the Mosell River meets. I've already introduced the Mosell River in my previous videos, so check out the videos under Germany on my page if you want to know more about it. As for the Rhine River, basically it's also one of Europe's most important rivers. It plays a big role in Germany's geography, economy, and culture. Economically, it's Europe's busiest inland waterway, carrying coal, chemicals, steel, and so on. Culturally, it's a symbol of Germany's identity, powerful and enduring. Geographically, in the south and west, it forms part of Germany's border with France and Switzerland. So, right here is where the Mosell River flows into the Rhine. The Rhine is on the side where the cable car is. Now, about the fortress, apparently it's one of the biggest preserved fortresses in Europe. It has a lot of history that I cannot cover in a few minutes in this video, so I'll give you a very simplified version of its history. Basically, in 1000 AD, the first fort was built on the hill by local nobles. From the 11th to 15th century, it was expanded by the archbishops of Trier into a medieval fortress. In 1799, French forces took it after a long siege. In 1801, the French blew it up and only ruins remained. From 1817 to 1828, Prussia rebuilt it into this massive 19th century fortress. This is the version we see today. After that, it was never attacked again and it's never seen real battle under Prussian control. Now the fortress serves as a museum, and actually when I visited, there seemed to be like a few events happening. And when I checked on Google, a lot of events do happen here, so if you plan to visit, maybe you could attend one of them. And actually, when I was here, I was asked to stop recording. I don't know why though. In the fortress, they also do have some cafes and restaurants. It was boiling this day, so I got some slushies. The fortress actually has several museums and exhibitions, the main one being the State Museum. It covers archaeology, the history of Rhineland palatinate, and the fortress. Then there's the Rhine Museum. This one details how the Rhine shapes the history, culture, and identity. There are other rotating exhibitions as well. Also, you could book a guided tour. There's a lot of information on this on the Visit Koblenz website, so check it out if you need further details on this. Just outside the fortress, there's a beautiful park. It's also a good place to rest and have a picnic. Further down, there's also a modern viewing platform. This is where you get to see the Deutsches Eck. This is where the Rhine and the Mosell River meets. The cable car is really convenient. I wish all of the towns in Rhineland had this because they all seem to have like a fortress or castle on top of the hill. The ones that like overlook the town. And there's been several times where it was really difficult to get to some of these places because you either had like one or two options. You either walk uphill or the other option having to drive uphill. And if you don't have the car with you, you either have to be in one of those tourist train cars or whatever they call them. So again, if you haven't booked in advance, this is quite difficult to do. Oh, and another thing, the cable car do operate till 7 p.m. This is from 10 a.m. Again, opening times do vary depending on the season. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is for summertime. And sometimes they might extend the closing times if there's some kind of events. So on this day, there was actually like quite a few events happening. So they said this cable car was going to run till midnight. After the fortress and the cable car, the plan was to go back to the old town city centre and see what else was available. Then I noticed that a lot more people were coming by the river and there were some activities happening, so I decided to check them out. And I ended up spending most of the afternoon by the river. I'll have to plan another trip for the castles, and I also wanted to check out the DB Museum, the Koblenz Theatre. Apparently the theatre plays music, ballet and more. Other activities I thought could be interesting as well as the Museum of Defence and Technology. And for wine lovers, you could go wine tasting. This region is famous for wine after all. Koblenz is quite big. I actually only planned out one day. I don't think you can see all the city's attractions in one day. Maybe it's possible, but not in depth. But you can still do a day trip just to see the things you're interested in. Also, it has a lot of events. Like on this day, I'm not exactly sure how many events were there. So it doesn't need to be a one-time trip. You could always go if there's some kind of events you're interested in. Another activity you could add to your trip are the river cruises. You could either do the Rhine or the Mosell, or both. You can find out more information on this on the Visit Koblenz website. They had this market as well. It's similar to one of those Christmas markets. I think these type of markets should be all year round, or at least once a week. I mean, why do we have to just have it at like some kind of event or just around Christmas time? These types of markets make it so much easier to try out different types of foods. Like here, I got a sandwich. I think it's a Finnish style sandwich. I'm not exactly sure. Last time I tried it, it was also at a Christmas market. The market had a lot of other options as well for food, like even some places were doing vegan food. But every time I see this type of barbecue, I just gravitate towards it. Also, one thing you should know is that none of these places accepted cards. So you must have cash with you at all times. To be fair though, it's very common in Germany. As I said in my previous videos, even some proper restaurants won't take cards. So you must have cash with you at all times.
Dass wir jetzt eine Palme noch keine solche spielen. Dann ist jeder
Mit Mayo, sagten sie, ja? 10 Euro. Käsebrot auf den Senf, 10 Euro Essen, 10 Euro klein.
As delicious as this was, it was a bad idea for me to have this straight after the sandwich because I just wanted a nap after. The city has a lot of other restaurant options as well and a lot of cuisines to choose from. But I already ate a lot at the market, so I didn't really try out any. I came across this church near the train station, which I thought was beautiful. I don't know the name, but if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.